I left you with some homework to do in the last lesson, and that was to style the edit page here. So this is what it looks like as the end result, and if we go into our code here, this is what the code looks like. Again, essentially the styling and the markup very similar to the sign in and sign up pages. I just had to extract out the devise edit paths here, or the form here, and replace them. So I just had to replace the code where needed. All right. So what I want to do next is to, when I post a gig, and before we even do this, let's take a look at our Rails console. See gig, let's just find the last 5 gigs. Actually, let's do find gig where user ID equals 1. There you go. So we have a few gigs underneath me that I have as Bob. So good. So what I want to do is actually provide a way for the user to view their own gigs. So right now there's really no way to tell who owns what and how to get to it or get to your own gigs. So let's do that. If we go to our routes file, we'll first want to create a route, and we want to get my gigs and match it over to gigs in the my gigs action in the gigs controller. We haven't created that yet. Let's go create that. Gigs controller. At the bottom here, we can define a new method called my gigs. And in here, we'll say at gigs equals gig.where user ID matches the current user. And let's just say order is based on date. Let's just say that for now. Order is based on created at date. Created at descending or ascending. I believe it's ascending. So if we do a refresh, we're not going to see anything. And so how do we get here? But if we go here and do my gigs, my gig, oh, in our routes file, it should be my gigs. Sorry about that. Undefined method call. Oh, screwed up here as well. Should be order. There you go. Now do a refresh. Now it's telling us template is missing. Good. So if we go into our app, views gigs, we'll want to create a my gigs HTML ERB. Do a refresh, and there you have it. We don't have anything here right now because if we just put hello, it'll push down the footer. So let's style up this page and mark it up, and that way we can take a look here of all of our gigs here. So I'm going to first create another div of contents, put that in a container, and then h3 of my gigs, a small here of, let's put a class on that, pull rate at gigs.count total. Let's just take a look and see what that. So we have my gigs right here, and then how many gigs do I have? I have 4. Now let's add another table, or add a table, class of table striped, add a t head. Oh. Add a table row. Actually, right, table rows, and then th of class equals text center status. So we're going to have statuses on our gigs here because they're either open or closed. And then some more ths here. Whoops. Copy. I'm going to paste a few extra things in here. So this should be name, category, budget, and let's make this proposals. See how many proposals we have. th total span equals 3, and this will be for all of my actions here. So t-head is good. Now let's do the t-body, table body. So for each of our gigs, do gig, and we can actually end it right there. So create a tr, table row, table data, and for our gig, we'll just say this is if at gig or gig.open, then do show open, else it's closed. And that's what's driving whether or not it's open. Is if you remember, the column on the gig table is a Boolean field, so if it's basically true, then it's open. If it's false, then it's closed. Add some more table data here. Actually, we can just do link to gig name gig, more table data, gig.category.name, our budget, and actually this should be number to currency gig.budget and then precision 0. So just turning this again into a dollar value. Now let's see proposals.count, because this is how many proposals do we have here. And then here is where we're hitting our column span 3 right here. So we want to provide a link here to delete or edit or delete our gigs. Let's take a look and see what this looks like right now. Do a refresh. There you go. So we have all of these gigs are gigs that are assigned to us where the user ID equals 1, and we've shown what category it is, the budget, and the proposals. And actually, if we just do add a class of text center to it for our proposals, won't look so bad. So there you go. Now we have this edit and delete links right here that we have not yet implemented. So if our gigs controller, we don't have an edit action or a destroy action. So that's what we'll do in the next lesson. But for now, this is showing us all of our gigs that we have. And if you click on the link here, it'll take us to our gigs right here. And if these had proposals in them, it would count the proposals.